Hello traders, welcome back to my channel. In this video we are going to be doing a top-down analysis on gold. We are going to be also reviewing some other currency pairs like euro, maybe US dollar, Swiss franc, GPU for the week, right? Giving you a possible forecast move and the strategy that you can use to do top-down analysis and analyze any market indices, synthetics, boom and crash, and all of that. So if you trade any of these pairs or these instruments and you want to learn how to use multiple factors to catch high probability entry setups like trend line, market structure, and many top-down analysis, then you want to subscribe to this channel by hitting on the subscribe button and notification bell, and also watch the video to the end to catch this wonderful strategy, right? Okay traders, welcome to my channel. I am Full Kingsley. By the grace of God, I bring to you guys strategies, tutorials on the forex market, volatility indices, metals like gold, Nasdaq, VIX75, many other instruments. You want to subscribe to the channel by hitting on the subscribe button and notification bell to not miss out. All right, let's start up right away. Now let's just clear up our charts and do a thorough analysis, right? So basically, to do a top-down analysis, you need to first of all go to bigger time frames. I usually take my trade sometimes in a 15 minutes, 1 hour, 5 minutes, maybe like scalping, but I will usually do, sometimes I'll do a top-down analysis so that I should be able to identify my trends, identify where the market is possibly moving to, and all of that. So what I do is I go to a bigger time frame like the 4 hours, right? For the 4 hours, I used to determine the market structure. Now if you look at this market structure, you are going to see that we had an uptrending market here, right? We had an very strong uptrending market here, and price actually came and then broke out of this trend line, right? Came back and then violated the previous low that was here, created a new low, and then created this high, came and created a new low. So it simply means that what price has broken through the previous low, indicating that there is what a potential shift in the trend of the market, right? So if you look at the daily time frame, for instance, you are going to see the information that we have here, right? We had a strong up move here from the daily, right? And now price is actually retracing, and if you drop now to the 4 hours time frame or maybe the 1 hour time frame, you are going to see exactly what I'm saying, right? So we have a partial shift from an uptrending market to a downtrending market. As you can see, as soon as price break this, we had price starting to create series of lower lows, right? So if you look at the 2 hours time frame, remember the top down analysis, we start from the bigger time frame and then we drop further to smaller time frames. And one of the major things we need to identify is the trend. And to identify the trend, we need to know if prices at that particular point in time, is it creating higher highs, like here it was creating higher highs and higher lows, or as price started creating higher lows. Okay, you see now that price has started creating lower lows, like you can see here, then we know that the trend is potentially changing, right? And we see that price has broken through. Now what we do now is we can use our trend line, right? Use our trend line, and then we also use other factors to mark out our zones. Now if you look at it, if I use my trend line here, you see I'll just connect like this, all right, and that will already tell you that we have a zone where the trend line has reacted twice, thrice. Okay, if you're a trend line trader by now, you should have already been selling from here, right? And then we have what the next possibility, that price could move up to the zone, reject, and they will be selling. But now when I go further to a smaller time frame, because that's where I take my trading setups, I look at the various swings of the market, right? So if you go to the H1, you are going to see price creating lower lows and lower highs, and price actually broke through a low that has been rejected for a couple of times, right? Drop further to the 30 minutes time frame. Remember, the information in a bigger time frame is only to see if they are going to agree with what we have in the smaller time frame. So in this smaller time frame now, we have price creating clear lower lows and lower highs, right? And we have this to be impulsive and pullback, impulsive and pullback. So at this point in time, we are actually expecting a pullback, right? This is a demand zone, as you see here. This is a supply zone here, right? This is another supply zone that price actually broke above, and price is coming to tap. So there's a possibility that if price taps here, price will probably drop. That's where we are going to be looking for a sell, or we can wait for price, because we know that normally liquidity have been cleared for people who entered based on this this supply zone here. So if price close below this zone here, you should be shorting, right? I will be shorting because I know that price is probably going to be dropping for a while, right? That is how you do your top down analysis. Very simple. You just keep it very simple, all right? And then you want to be cash, because normally here many people entered and then liquidities have been cleared, right? So if you look at it in another instance, you see that for people who are trading maybe chart patterns, right? If you are trading maybe chart patterns, this would have been a good breakout. This is like a flag pattern, here, which if you identify this, remember my analysis is not just to forecast, but it's to show you how you can be able to analyze all markets, right? And then you catch good trading opportunity using multiple type of setups, whether chart pattern, supply and demand. Okay, so if you had entered here, drop, this would have already been a very good risk to reward trade setup that we cut here. You see that, you get the point. So now price is pulling back from an impulsive move. So the summary is that we go to a bigger time frame. Our essence is to know what is the trend of the market at that point. Is a market trying to create a high, right? Has price broken through this information? Now we know that price has broken through, and we have a possibility that price could still move down. Price could still move like this. This is another option, and then price will probably be moving down for a while. So now, so that when we go to smaller time frame, now we are entering based on what we have seen in the smaller time frame or in the bigger time frames. So many people just just go to the time frame in which they are trading, and they just focus there, right? They just focus there, and they are not able to see what is happening in the bigger time frame. That's why sometimes you don't even understand, you get stopped prematurely. So we have GPU, we have the same thing. Price has changed the trend. Okay, we have a shift of structure from an uptrend to a downtrend. Okay, from the daily, you see so clearly that price actually broke out from this key zone, and now we see price creating what series of lower lows. Okay, so you can see here price creates a low, move, creates a low, and now we have a possibility like that. So you can see use your trend line as well, because this trend line actually plots out to tell us what is the trend, and then now we will be expecting price to maybe pull up to that zone. But while we are looking for those bigger time frame opportunities, we need to drop to smaller time frame. Okay, and then because I know most people are day traders, especially those watching my videos, all right, at this point in time we have price just being choppy. Okay, and then we're looking for various patterns to be entering. Okay, so here logically we have price reacting or consolidating within this particular pattern. Price has not been able to break out of here for a while. So basically right now we will just be looking for maybe a breakout. For people who trade based on breakout will be entering, while people who trade based on what demand and supply should be expecting a pullback up here, right? So expect a pullback somewhere there to be shorting. You get the point. But the general thing is we have done a multiple time frame analysis, and from here this is a possibility that if price comes back to this supply zone here, this will also be a high probability entry like this, right? And then we're looking for to catch the move, right? That is it. So let's look at euro US dollar, right? Let's look at euro US dollar. This is a trade on euro Japanese yen which we have taken. We have already given the signal on the channel, right? So let's just look at euro US dollar. This is euro US dollar Swiss franc. Remember the analysis I made last week, right? We made an analysis on a particular strategy that was supply and demand, and then the smart money concept, and I explained to you guys concepts regarding this. I don't want to dwell on this. I'm going to drop the link of the video. We forecasted that price was going to move, and now price is actually moving just like that after hitting this major demand zone here. And then we also have to look at maybe euro US dollar, right? So this is what we have on euro US dollar right here. So let's go further to the bigger time frame. Let's go to the daily and see what we have on euro US dollar. The daily time frame, what is it telling us? Now we have a good trending market on the daily time frame. We have impulsive and pullback, impulsive pullback, and there's a possibility of the next impulsive move on the daily time frame. So let's see. You see how we do, right? We mark out our key zones, we mark our key zones, we mark our key zones, we mark out our key zones. These are zones that we are going to be targeting as price moves. So if you drop further to H4, what do we see? All right, in the H4 time frame, we see price pull back to a major demand zone. You can see there we have this strong imbalance, this candlestick that was moved, and we have an imbalance created within. Price has come back and has tapped to this zone. So this is a major a possibility that price can move like that. So we can see we have already done the analysis, and price is moving just as it is, just like in waves, like I've showed indicated in the daily. And in the daily, you see now that price comes back as I showed, and it got rejected at this high. This is the reason why we mark out these zones, like, because when price gets to these zones, you usually get reaction. So now when it creates impulsive pullback, it has rejected, it will come back now to reject, and it's a higher possibility based on the higher time frame that price could be heading higher from here, right? And this could be a good trading setup for swing traders, right? Now if you go for that smaller time frame, maybe for daily traders, we are going to see we can also be looking for maybe entries based on patterns and all of that. You can wait for price, you can identify demand and supply zones maybe in the 5 minutes time frame, and then you are waiting for price. Since we have an up move, for price to come back, tap to demand zones where we are going to be looking for further buys, right? Price come back, tap, we enter, we wait for impulsive moves, for price to create moves, so that when it creates an impulsive move, maybe like this, creates the next impulsive move, you mark the next zone, you wait for price to come back and you enter. You are catching the trend based on what the smaller time frame, like the scalping entries. But if you are a swing trader, you can already be in this trend right now looking for possible move. Remember, these are just forecasts, and this is not investment advice, like we always say, and trading is based on probabilities. Anything can happen, so make sure you use good risk management whenever you are trading. All right, so I hope you found this video helpful. Make sure you give me a thumbs up, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if this is your first time by hitting on the subscribe button and notification bell, so that anytime I post a new video, you'll be the first to get a notification. See you in the next video.